It's my pleasure today, folks, to introduce Jessica Keys. Jessica is a charter member and Vice President of Education for Toastmasters at the Lake, which meets in Mooresville, North Carolina. She's been a Toastmaster since 2008 and is also a member and Sergeant at Arms of Gold Mine Toastmasters Club. She has helped administer the Toastmasters at the Lake website since joining in 2008. Jessica has extensive experience in public relations, marketing, membership, and education at her club level, as well as in a professional level. With that, we'll turn it over to Jessica.
Thank you. Hello everyone. Today we're going to work on discovering and deciphering the FreeToastHost 2.0 system. And as some of you know, it has been changed in the past year or so we're going to try to make this less of a mystery. Today's teaching objectives, we're going to find out how to easily edit and maintain your club website. And we're also going to give you some tips for how to make your Toastmaster club website unique and visitor friendly. Sometimes people come to your website and go, why did I bother coming here? We're going to tell you how you can make that a total different experience and make it something your members are excited to come to and also visitors. First of all, you have to have a website. If you don't have your website already, you're going to be visiting the address that shows on the top of this slide and filling out this information. Once you do so, you will be getting a whole web of email communications just to get into your site. This is the hard part, folks. If you already have your site, it's already done. When you first get your website and you get into your website from the links given to you in the emails, this is what your website's going to look like. Your website is in several different parts. The first part of your website is the main menu. On the main menu, this is public access. Anything that you put here can be accessed. If you have anything you want your visitors to see, this is where it's going to go. Also, you have a members only section. This is the part that only people, once they're logged in as a member, will be able to actually access. For example, you'll see things like meeting agendas, mentor-mentee request forms, editing their own member profiles, and member downloads. You'll also have a section on here under members only for member login and site administrator login. Those are going to be very important when it comes to editing your website. When you first get your website, you'll have nothing in your first page. This we're going to work on together. And we also have some default pages of which you can't edit the text, but they're really wonderful to have up. There is a way to hide them too, so we'll talk about that as well. Let's get started. So you have your login information, you have all your emails. It's time to log in. You're going to go down to your members only section. You're going to find your Launch Administrator Console. What you got from TI is going to be a very long password and username to log in. When you do so, the first place you're going to go is to Site Administration. After you're logged in, launch your administration console. This is the meat and potatoes of your new website. There are a couple of menus we're going to discuss today so that you can very clearly go ahead and set up your website. One of which is your club website settings, administrator information, membership management, default website pages and forms, social networking links. They go down from there. So let's get started on those. The first thing you're going to see is club website settings. This is very important. Change this immediately before you forget. Your default website address is going to be your club number .toastmasterclubs.org. Not many people know their club number, and I wouldn't expect a guest to either, not even the rest of your club members. If you want to change what you want this to be here, where your club number is, you can put in whatever your website alias is or what you want it to be. I suggest doing this up front because once your site is searched, it will make it very difficult to find. Also, if you have your own domain information and your own domain that you purchase, you have to make sure you get that information put in there as well. But make sure you do that before you do anything else. Also in Club website settings, you can change your themes. There's 3 options. Not much to choose from, but Toastmasters International is trying to go ahead and keep their branding to a specific focus. You can go ahead and switch between the 3 themes without affecting any information you put on the pages, which is wonderful. If anybody worked with the old system we had, you lost information on some of those pages. And changing themes is fun. It keeps your website fresh. Have color preferences you like better than someone else. There's a lot of different options under this menu. For example, your club time zone, it defaults. You have to make sure you fix that. There's a part on your home page where you'll see Toastmasters Club. This is where you put your club name, and it should change it so that your club name will appear in the banner instead. Also, what your official description is going to be. The official description might be what gets picked up on Google or searching, so make sure your description is clear and concise. Make sure you put as many keywords in as possible. This is what the search engines use. You also have a place where you can put your main heading, and you can edit your main content page. What you'll notice in the content page, if you've used Word, you've used Excel, you've used Publisher, the menus are pretty much the same. If you've done that before, you can do this. What I like to focus on for that menu is the adding an image. Sometimes we get nervous when we have to add an image into things, don't we? So when we add an image in, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the image button on the left-hand corner. And what you'll see is you'll see an image properties box. Image info, link, upload, advanced. If your picture already exists, you just go straight to the browser server in the window. In that browser server, you'll be able to click and input your picture as you want. If you need to upload a new picture, you can upload the picture with the Upload tab. Then you can go, after it's done uploading, right into image info. And then you can find it browsing your server. Very easy to use, and Toastmasters International has now also made available a multitude of pictures you can use on your website. So you don't have to go strangling around looking for pictures. I like this as an option, especially on miscellaneous pages I've created. The other thing that you can do is set up a Google account. Track how many people are visiting your site. What are your website statistics? Your website statistics are very important. They let you know what it is people are looking at. We won't have time to go into that today, but the link will be right in your club website settings. Go in, get those set up, and put in the scripted code as directed. It'll be a lifesaver for you, and you'll know exactly what you're doing right and wrong on your website. Also, the administration window, the console part that we're working in when we edit our website, it might be too small or large. There's 3 different sizes, so based on the computer screen you're using, go ahead and change that out. I mentioned that long password that you get when you first go ahead and get your website. I suggest that you go ahead, change it immediately to something that you can remember and use. There's only one administrator for a Toastmasters website, and that's it, and that website password needs to be known, because finding the password after you lose it is a little difficult to do. Very simple to use. You always have an administrator email as well, so make sure you keep that information up to date. If there's any issues with the program, with the website, they're the one who will be contacted. Membership. Membership management. Where do I put my members? This is a Toastmasters website. I need to put my members in. Membership management is very minimal when it comes to maintenance, when it comes to being the administrator, unlike before. When you first go into member management on your menu, under the administrator's menu, you're going to see this space blank. This is where you're going to fill in all your members. You're going to put in their name. They're going to put a space. You're going to put in their email and a space and their phone. Excuse me. Only the names, emails, and phone numbers can be put in. Do not remove any former members. You're just going to be able to change their member status. And there are instructions underneath if you get confused. The new FreeToastHost 2.0 has great notes and memos to help you along. In the old system, it was hard to put status symbol on everybody. This new system is awesome. Look at all the roles you can select for an individual. Your officers, if they're if they're guests or they're former members, nobody has to be deleted anymore. And if somebody comes in as a guest, you can always upgrade them to a member. This is the only information you as the administrator get to play with. The rest is going to be up to them to go ahead and fill out their actual profile. You also see in there a place where you can edit the welcome message that they get when they're inputted in the system. It is not automatically sent to them. What you're going to have to do is select that member, and you're going to have to click Save below. You'll see a Save button below, and then that will get sent to them, which will give them directions how to initially get into the website. But you have to do that action yourself. It will not automatically do that when they're added into the system. Under your default website pages and forms, there is a Contact Us form /page option. When you first start your website, that will not be activated. But once you select members to get information or emails, that will. And this is a great way to use your committees. This is one of the few ways the new system lets you do that. I usually suggest the president, vice president of education, membership, maybe a member who's in charge of helping them out, but this is a great way to do that. There's also a meeting information page on here. How do we get to our Toastmaster meetings? If we don't know how to get there, then we're never going to make it. So, depending on your internet browser, make sure when you're pasting any copy and paste information in here that it works. It may just pop right in there. Or if you're like me and you use Firefox, it actually gives you this great little window, and you have to paste it there first, hit OK, then it'll input it into the box. May happen, may not with your browser, but be aware that that may happen if you're copying and pasting. You'll notice that the menus here are completely the same as in the other box. It's just a matter of getting used to using the menus. They are your friend. You also have your Google map that you can put in. Yes, you don't have to hand draw a map. You don't have to finagle one. You can go to, it'll tell you right here how to go into Google Maps, and you can copy and paste the language right in, and it'll appear right on your page for you. Wonderful technology to have. The other thing that this program affords is social networking link options. We're all told we need to be socially networked. If you have not started socially networking your club, do so today and use this as a guide. Everybody usually uses something like a Facebook or a Twitter. I'll tell you, both my clubs I'm in, they both have some type of Facebook or Twitter action going on, and we do get some hits out of it. These links will automatically show up on your website if you fill them in under the social networking links. There are other options, as you can see here: YouTube, LinkedIn, Flickr, Google+, and Meetup as well. Meetup is another great option they have. This part on the bottom, which says login details, notes for the above sites, this is administrator seen only. This is a great place to store those sensitive password information. So when you lose it and you don't remember how to log into your club's Facebook account, this is where you put it all. And I'll tell you, that's the first thing I put in for my social networking links before I even put the links in the top. Because everybody always calls and says, "What was that password again?" Don't have to worry about that. The next thing you could do is customize your own web pages. For the most part, it's unlimited what you can do, how many pages you want. Just remember, the longer you make your menus, the more cumbersome your site can become. So make sure that what you do put in there is purposeful and important. For example, on Toastmasters at the Lake, we've created a photo page, a little photo album. I've created pages like what are the officer roles to try, and with the links to the downloaded manual. Something to make it friendly, useful, and helpful. And the nice part about this is you can do more than just create a new web page. You can also just input links. The directions to put links are right here in the system. It's very simple. All you do is put the URL in the content and you give it a title. And when you give it the title, the link will be put on the menu for either members or public access. Make sure that you know which menu you want it on, because if it's going to be a members only and you make it public, everyone will see it. After you've created the page, you can go back in and edit and say you don't need it anymore, or you don't need the link anymore. You can go back and you can delete it. Very simple to do. But I encourage you, if you do make your own pages, to be as descriptive as possible on your web page descriptions and your keywords as well. If it can't be searched, it can't be found. The system also gives you an option for floater messages. Floater messages are going to appear at the top of any of the pages for non-members and members, depending on how they're logged in. It's a great way to send out a holiday message, or if you have something important coming, make sure people see it when they log in. But the floater messages, I would say, is an innovative creation that people don't use often enough. Your file manager. They've improved the file manager with the 2.0 system. The things that you want seen on the menu under downloadable files, very easy to do. When you first log in, you're going to have 3 things in there defaulted, which are useful to have. But anything else you add in yourself. And it's very easy to select a file from your computer and upload it. The only thing is, please note that there's a 5 meg file limit. So if it's bigger than that, it will not let you upload, and it does not split it for you. So keep your videos on YouTube if you have videos, or whichever system you want, but try not to upload them here. The other thing is you can always change if it's public or private, and you could also delete them easily. The file manager does not have any other filing systems if you're the folder person. Make sure the file descriptions that you give it are succinct and accurate. And if you don't need something anymore, go back and delete it. Agendas. We're Toastmasters. We need agendas. We need to know what's going on. The agenda system, initially when you go into it, you won't have any roles created. You're going to have to go in under meeting agenda settings and create those roles if you're not going to be using a default agenda from Toastmasters, of which I'll show you as an option a little later on. Included in this agenda system are a multitude of options. You can roll through those, and you can also set your meeting descriptions as well. This meeting description goes on the top of every agenda that people see in the system. You want to make this something that is going to be usable each week so you don't have to keep editing, or you can use this each week as a spot to make it special. But how you're going to use that is yours. This will be the default one that will show up if you don't go in and edit it after you've created the agenda for that week. Under default meeting agendas, you're going to initially, this is going to be called the unnamed agenda. After you've created all your roles, you can actually save it as your weekly meeting agenda, whatnot, so it's easy to find. In here you could put your roles and you could put your role descriptions. You could also choose whether the roles are for what members sign up for, if it's going to be based on a manual, and if you're going to print your agenda, you can actually say if you're going to want it on something, if it's printed or not. So if you have any miscellaneous items thrown in the middle of all of your roles, not everything has to print. This is your delete button. To throw it away, this is your add button. Those are your two base functions that they use in the Agenda 101. When you're actually setting up your first agenda, you've made all your roles, you have everything in the system the way you want it. You're going to go to Members Only Meeting Agendas. In here, when you add your first agenda, you can do your default agenda that you've been playing with, but they give you options. 2-speaker, 3-speaker, Toastmasters default, detailed, and 1-page. So if you don't have time to create all those meeting roles, there are other options. And it's very easy to utilize, and there are weeks when I've used my default I've created. There's weeks when I've used the Toastmaster default. That'll be up to you. There's also in here role reports that you can run down. A couple of different options. This is your edit button. After an agenda has been created, that's how you edit your button. When your members first log in, you've sent them their information of how to log in. I showed you the club member login earlier. They're going to put their name, they're going to put or their email address, and the password they were given. If they forget their password, we'll all get this at some point. So I don't know how to log into the system. Just put your name or email in, but don't put in a password and hit authenticate login, and they'll actually be sent an email to their existing email address, which will let them back in the system and reset that password. Very user-friendly for them, and it gives the administrator a lot of free time. I mentioned that the administrator doesn't have to do the full profile anymore or edit any of them. That is up to the member. After they've logged in, they'll see that edit your profile option on the members menu, and they can go in and set as much as they want. They can even put in their own personal Facebook pages, their LinkedIns, if they have a meetup, and anything about themselves. This is their space. And they could also choose to opt out of the public side of things if they don't want to be shown on the public side of the page. But when they're done, their member profile, if they choose to be public, is going to look something like this, depending on how much they fill in. And it's a great way for people to get to know you, get to know a little bit about the members as well. But I suggest using it. There's also a function for club email addresses. They can access that on their member directory. They can email all the members with a base member address. They can email just the officers. There's even a function, that's why we say fill everybody in under member management, because there's even email if somebody is put in as a guest. You can send a message to all the guests at one time. Great feature to have, and a time saver if you have different people working the public relations and the membership aspect of the club. And also, if there's any issues, they can send something to the administrator as well. It eliminates the need of having personal email addresses involved. So today we talked a little bit about how to easily edit and maintain your club website, and also gave you tips for how to make your Toastmaster Club website more unique and member visitor friendly. This is more of the Help Me 101 version of FreeToastHost 2.0, but this was a quick walkthrough. to help you get to understand what it is that you have to do to make a great website for your club. I hope this was informative for you, and I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy editing those websites.